Today, we're going to be taking a look at several of my stocks at trades that I have put on. Then we'll take a look at some of the stocks that you want to look at, like Palantir, SoFi, Robinhood, things like that. But first, I need to do a little bit of housekeeping because I put on 9 trades yesterday, and 2 of them need to come off today. And the reason being is because they were actually violating my rules at the time. I did not realize we had a couple settings we need to change on the order blocks, and this one right here, CFG and RKT, are both ones that fall inside or right next to order blocks, which means I need to take them off. Because when I go into my plan, and this is one of the things as a professional investor, is I have a plan. I have a written plan top to bottom of what I'm going to do on a daily basis. And right here, the stock needs to be at least 2% away from an order block. And on those two, I can't keep them on in my portfolio because they're right at that point. Now, granted, I only trade at the end of the day, so I'm going to take these off at the end of the day. There's a possibility all of the market gods could look down upon us and it goes above these order blocks, and then we roll them and we move on, and it's amazing. And we could actually keep them on. But all we have to do is follow our plan. So there's no stress. If you're trading and it's exciting, you're doing it wrong. Trading is meant to be boring. If you're trading and it's exciting, you're not doing it right. So what I want to do is I want to go through the trades that I have on right now. I already told you the 2 that I need to take off today. And then I want to go hunting for a couple new ones, right? So these are the ones that I have on currently. All the green and the 2 orange ones are the ones that I need to take off. However, this came from my screener this morning. And so I want to look at a handful of these today and see if we can put them on. So let's start with the market, right? Everything starts with the market. The S&P 500 needs to be set up in the direction of our trend. So the SPY has a bullish trend. The 10 is over the 20, price is over the 50. The SPY has a buy signal. If we pop into Outlier, we can see the SPY buy signal right here. I'm also going to go through and add my trades onto here because part of our exit plan is having a sell signal. The fear and greed heat map on the SPY. Let's pop into that and take a look. We can see all 9 on Outlier 9 is lit up on the S&P 500. This is great. This is what we wait months for, is when times like this are happening. And we can see it is under 70. It's at 54.7 and moving up, which is exactly what we want to see. Under 70 and rising. And then the full stock's breadth, taking a look over here, we can see every sector has bullish breadth except for energy. Every sector except for energy has bullish breadth. Now, you'll also notice over here that we have a little bit of a different situation than yesterday. We do have more uptrends, but we don't have less downtrends today. We have the same number of downtrends. So therefore, we have to take a little bit of a different approach right here, and that's okay. So the market is set up. We can establish that. Next, let's talk about the outlier channels. That's what this means down here. More uptrends, less downtrends. Looking at this, yesterday, the market was a 2. So this is the market that we're looking at right here. Everything is a 2, which means everything's a go. All the sectors are a go. Now, this one here, it needs to have a market of 1, which we have right now. See the green right there? That means a market score of 1. And then a sector needs to be greater than or equal to 1. So easy enough. All we got to do is come over here. We can see all of the healthcare has a 0. And utilities has a 0. So we wouldn't trade either of those. But everything else has at least a 1 or greater. So that makes things really, really easy. Okay. We're not going to be trading all the sectors anyway because of relative greed. We'll get there in just a moment. Sector breadth, we talked about everything except energy is good. And sector fear and greed heat map. Now, one thing that we do have right now is a little bookmarklet from our amazing outlier named Vaclav. This is going to be built into the outlier platform. I talked to Mahesh yesterday. He said either this weekend or next weekend, the big 6,000 stock updates finally coming through. We cover 2,600 of the most liquid stocks right now. We're adding 6,000 more. We had tried to do it in October and ended up breaking our servers because of the data load associated with that. So it did take us a little bit of time to do some server upgrades in order to accept that. But the new upgrade, the huge upgrade of 6,000 more stocks is coming on either this weekend or next weekend. So we've narrowed it down. Sector fear and greed is where we're looking at right now. So sector fear and greed, all of them are under 70, which the rule is under 70 and rising. So all of them are under 70. Utilities is moving down, so we wouldn't be looking at that anyway. Basically, what we're trying to do is we're trying to take all 11 sectors and narrow them down only to the ones that are set up for us. And now we're looking at sector relative greed. And relative greed means what is the greed score of the sector compared to the market? We want to find the hottest sector, the one that has the most greed going on. So in this case, energy, financials, healthcare, and utilities have a higher relative greed than the market. Now you'll notice we're starting to pick off sectors here, right? We're pretty much down to only a couple, and I believe that that picks us down to energy is bearish here. The financials and real estate, I believe, are the only two that we're really going to be trading today, because utilities does not have more uptrends and less downtrends. And energy already has a bearish cross. So we're basically down to financials and real estate. Okay. So with that now established, we actually have all these pulled through, and I already downloaded it to a spreadsheet. So what I'm going to do now is I'm basically going to group these in groups of 10. We're going to put these in trading view. We're going to take a look at them together to see if any of them come through with any new signals for us today. How does that sound? Now, you'll notice that I mentioned SoFi earlier. SoFi is in the financials. So let's take a look at SoFi and see if it's set up for us. And if not, why not? If not, why not? Let's see if SoFi is even on the board here. SoFi. No. Why do we care about SoFi? We don't really care about SoFi. That's the thing. But a lot of people do. A lot of people love SoFi. There's stocks that really have their moments, and SoFi's had its moment for a minute. So let's jump into SoFi and see if it's tradable today. And why not? Okay. You can probably see right off the bat over here, a couple things aren't looking so great. SoFi bros for life. SoFi bros forever. Chris made me sell my SoFi. You guys are so funny. But yeah, we can see right here, the trend and signal are not looking so hot. Let's go over to SoFi right now. SoFi was down 2% yesterday. It's up 1.5% this morning. I know it looks like it's crossed, but it's not crossed just yet. Let me zoom in even a little bit more right there. The trend is still, the 10 is still under the 20, even though price is over the 50. So that would actually put it in a sideways trend right now, which is why it has this white background right here. Next, it's still sitting on a sell signal. So could we get into SoFi in a couple days? Very possible. Very possible. Are we going into SoFi today? Absolutely not. Batman owns one share of SoFi just out of principle. So I'm not going to own any shares of SoFi today. But what I want to do is go through the shares or the stocks I am holding. We're going to add that to our favorites list over here so we can see when it flips to a buy or sell signal. We're going to discuss the exits on those, and then we'll look for a couple more, because before entering any new trades, we need to reduce risk before adding new trades, right? We need to plan on the plan not going to plan. That is the most important part of trading. Plan on the plan not going to plan. So these are exit signals here: a sell signal, a 10-20 bearish cross, running into an order block, an outlier block that's at least 120 days old. Now, it does matter at the beginning. We don't want any age of an order block at the beginning. However, when we're in the trade, we don't care if it's a young order block. We're only looking for old order blocks. If it has earnings, if it gaps and craps, meaning goes up 5% and then comes back down, having a 2 ATR stop or a 3 ATR midday emergency exit. So those are what our exit signals look like. Now, here's the deal. Here's the deal. As you can tell, even with this amazing sweater, I am a professional investor. This is literally my job. This is my livelihood, is making money in the market, treating the market like an ATM. You need to think of the market like that. This is not a hobby. This is not a game. This is not something you do for fun. This is just like you're going to your day job right now, is exactly the same as me going to my day job right now. So you are watching me in my day job right now. Okay. I'm trying to stress how important this is and why you need to have a plan. So looking at these, let's go to Zion first. Now, Zion, as you can see, we actually bought it after this order block right here. So no stress. That order block is going to close today. So it's going to go away. It does not look like we need to roll it at our half ATR first rolling point just yet. So that's okay. Let's go into Zion, see if we have any exit signals. And we just have a buy signal today. All 9 of 9 on Outlier 9 is set up on Zion. So Zion looks beautiful. We're adding that to our favorite list so we can keep track of it. Easy peasy, just like that. Just like that. I see my exit signals and I know if I need to do anything. Okay. There's no question on what I need to do. There's no, oh, maybe this or maybe that. There's nothing other than this is what I'm looking for to exit. I will not do anything if I don't have a reason to exit. I might roll it, but I'm not going to take the trade off. Okay. There's no guesswork here. If this is resonating with you and you're seeing that this is different than what most YouTubers talk about, right? Or it's like $75 in this stock and you'll be a millionaire. No. Have a plan, execute the plan. Don't do anything that invalidates the plan. If you take any other move versus what's on your plan that you already created, you have invalidated the plan in its entirety. If this makes sense, type a number 1 in the chat. I'm here for you. I want you to understand this is me at my day job right now. So Zion, nothing to do. Let's go on to the next one, and that is SYF. Okay, SYF looking great this morning. Doesn't show any pre-market moves this morning. That's okay. Let's go to SYF. We can see we still have a buy signal. We still have all Outlier 9 lit up on SYF, and we're going to add that to our favorite list. So we're pretty much done checking out SYF for now. RKT. We do need to act on this later on today. Like I say, is there a chance it'll pop up over here? Absolutely. Anything can happen in the market. If it does, we'll roll and we'll keep it on. If not, this will come off today. That's why I marked it purple, because of the purple. Next, let's go to NU. Let's go to NU. Now, why did I not look at the RKT outlier? Because I already know what I'm going to do today. I don't even need to look at it. I already know what I'm going to do. 9 of 9 right here. So we're going to add it to our favorite list. Done. Makes it easy. Makes it easy. Let me go to the next one. I'm going to go to Jeff. Now, looking at Jeff right now, no pre-market trades this morning. That's fine. But we can see on the chart what we're going to do. Let's go into the Jeff platform. Jake can cling. Jake Con the King. Jake Con the King says, Chris, do you sell your options when you get a sell signal or just the stock? I don't buy stock unless it's SGov or TQ or SPXL. When I'm working on plans M and plans A, I'm buying the options. Now, that doesn't mean you have to. That's just what I do. That is my position, is the leveraged option position here. So looking at Jeff, I own Jeff options. And because I own Jeff options, I will consider that as one trade. Let's go to Jeff. We already talked about Jeff. Let's go to IVZ. We can see IVZ right here. Everything looks sharp. And IVZ. Now, again, right, since I know what my exit signals are, these apply to all of the stocks that I have on, all of them. I'm not going to treat IVZ differently than the next one. I'm not going to treat Jeff different than the next one. Now, interestingly enough, it shows an outlier block. It looks like it's going to be right above that today. That's lit up over here, but we can see on the order blocks right here, it's probably catching that one that ended, but this is still moving up higher. So we're good. I'm not stressed on this one. So we're going to add IVZ to our list, favorite list right now. And just so you know, the reason I'm doing this is so I can hit refresh over here. And when I look at my favorites list, I'll see all of them with buy signals. If I come into the platform tomorrow morning and I see one as a sell signal, hey, that's my first reason to sell a stock. Then I don't have to think about it. I know what I'm going to do. Makes it easy, right? HBAN. HBAN. Okay, looking at HBAN. Everything looks off to a great start on HBAN. Let's go over here. Yes, great point, Joe. If you put a hashtag Q, and in fact, Rudes is moderating right now. Rudes, if you see any hashtag Qs, do me a favor and star those so I don't miss them. HBAN has all 9 of 9. Everything looks great. So we're going to add HBAN to our favorites list. Now, you can create whatever list you want. I just like having the favorites list because it's like the default one right there. You can change this to whatever. Let's go to CFG. Again, this is the one that I would not have put on yesterday because it's only 32 basis points away from this order block. I want to see at least 2%. That is my rule. That is my rule. Again, there were some settings confusions yesterday, and so therefore it did not show up yesterday with this order block. In fact, I'll show you what it looked like yesterday. Let's pull up this one here. That's not the right one. This one here. And then taking this one off. See what I mean? These are the order blocks that I have used for years and years and years. This is the Deep Thought indicator. And Deep Thought worked super, super hard on this. I am not taking any credit away from him on this. It just did not show the order blocks in the place where I had expected them. Do we see the difference? So therefore, I will not be keeping this one at the end of the day unless it pops way up. Unless it pops. And it possibly could. I don't know. I'm not going to tell it what to do. I'm just going to listen. We have 5% away from an order block on Ally. Symbol added successfully. And let's go to Ally over here. And looking at this, we can see Ally, 9 of 9, all looks good. Buy signals are in place. So we're going to add Ally to our favorites right here. And then when I refresh, I should see the 3 indices, 1, 2, 3 indices, and then 7 stocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Cool. So this is exactly how I wanted my favorites list to look. Now, tomorrow when I log in, I can see if I have a sell signal just that fast. So easy, right? And when you're done with it, all you gotta do is click the star and it drops off. So super easy like that. So now let's take a look at some new potentials, new potential stocks. All right, so let's drop these into trading view. And yeah, we can put it on here. That's fine. So you'll notice several of these. The green ones are the ones that I own already. Yesterday's order blocks are the ones that I marked in purple. However, we need to go through those because as we discussed, the order blocks I want to have a different setting on, and therefore I need to look at them from a different perspective. So GGel still has the order block there. Jeff already owned. Sup V is sitting inside of an order block. HTGC has 10 over 20, price over 50. That is potential to me. I'm going to throw this on a blue because that is potential to me. LMND is sitting inside of an order block. RKT we own, but this is also one that we're going to be taking off. GS, Goldman Sachs. That looks pretty good actually. But Goldman Sachs options, this is an $800 stock, so these options are going to be hella expensive. We'll see about that one. RYE has earnings. I already marked it red for earnings, so we will not be trading RYE. ING has an order block right there. And SYF we already own. So just that fast, I know what I'm looking for, and I can already move into the next group. I can already move into the next group. So let's drop this here. Cool. WBS. Now, yesterday it had order blocks too close, and so I marked it. Today, how far away is this? 2.2, 2.12. I am willing to take that one today if it sets up. So let me mark it in blue because I'm interested. Morgan Stanley. Again, another one that I like. So I'm going to mark that one blue. PLD. That's within 2%, marking it purple. INDAC, that's the NASDAQ, right? It got, tell me order blocks don't work. It got rejected at that order block yesterday. No, thank you. BKU. Okay, yesterday, or for some reason, I've marked it red. I don't know why. Let's take a look. It might be the options. 2.71. That's a potential. Let's mark this as a blue. Let's go to IVZ. One we already own. All good. Aries. 10 over 20. Prices over the 50 now. And nothing in the way. I like Aries. Let's hold on to Aries. Let's go to TD. Earnings. CFG is one we have to close. And Fifth Third Bank is too close to an order block right there. So again, having your plan, you can scroll through these very quickly and say, okay, this is not what I want to see. This is what I want to see. Now, these are from the buy signals, right? This is from the screener. This is not just a random lot of stocks, right? This is actually coming from the screener with my screener criteria. What are those screener criteria? I'll show you. It's a little bit easier if you look at it in this form. Okay, this is what the screener criteria looks like. Take a screenshot. Keep it forever. You can also trade these up to 5 days after the buy signal comes through. All right. Take a screenshot. That's what that is. Let's go through the next group. And add them in. Let's see down here. Let's start CBRE. Order block. LC. LC looks nice. Yesterday on the different order block settings, I didn't take it. So we'll call that one blue. HBAN we own already. FNB. FNB, baby. That has potential. Let's go to Capital One Finance. What's in your wallet? I have the Capital One Venture X card. I love the Capital One Venture X card. Yeah, but I don't know if I love this right here. Let's see. How much room do we have? 1.85%. No, I don't love Capital One the stock. Alt. It's got room, doesn't it? Yeah, 6%. So again, another different setting on order blocks results in a different result right here. Kolb looks sharp. MUFG. Ooh, I don't like the gaps on this one. We're gonna skip that guy. And CWK. Okay. So this list is also sorted by highest signal return. So these are the signal returns following the outlier buy and sell signals. That doesn't mean it's going to be like this in the future, but historically speaking, some of these have had 800% returns. Some of these have had 80% returns. Some of these have had 16% returns, right? We don't know what is going to happen in the future. All we know is that this is what the historical returns have been, and capital efficiency is really interesting as well. It's not something I use. It might be something you want to use, but capital efficiency basically measures if you bought and held it from 2020 until today versus buying it and selling it using the outlier buy and sell signals. How much more would you make per day following the buy and sell signals, right? So you would be 100% invested the entire time over 5 years versus being in and out of the market enough times where you're getting 5 times 5.73x what you would have made following just buy and hold. So in and out enough times where it's 5% higher per day is what that shows. Isn't that cool? But like I say, that's not something I put into my plan, but it could be something you put in your plan. So let's take a look at the blue ones on here. That's what I want to look at. And let's start at the top blue one, which is HTGC. Now, why am I starting with the top blue one? Because I want to work my way down. HTGC historically has shown 215% cumulative returns with outlier. So HTGC, in fact, let's pull that up. HTGC. All right, so looking at HTGC, shows an outlier block right there. Must have been one that ended already inside of TradingView. I would use the TradingView order blocks over the ones inside of outlier. I feel that they are more accurate because I bet it's this one right here. You can see where it started right here around November 6th. No, it's not that one. It could have been this one here. So it does take a couple of days for it to resolve. But it is on top of that point now anyway, so we're good. So HTGC. Now, what I want to do is look at the options on HTGC. Let's go to options grid. Let's go to HTGC. And looks like the market just opened. So let me do this. Let me log out of this because this is the paper trading account. On January 1st, we will start the outlier fund, 50,000 real dollars that we're going to be trading in the outlier fund. As a professional fund manager, it was funny when Mahesh, she was like, I was like, give me like, I say you need at least $20,000 to position size correctly. And Mahesh was going to give me 30. And he was like, I think I'll give you 50. I'm like, I don't care what you give me. I'm going to apply the same rules to it no matter what. That's where you need to get to. It doesn't matter how much it is. As long as you have the rules and the position sizing, it just follows the rules and position sizing. So it's no stress. Okay, we're logged in a Tradier. We're on HTGC. The market is open now. So we can look at these, right? December 19th, 17 days. Now, what I'm looking at, now you're actually getting like a preview of the invitation only live stream, by the way. I like to start at 21 days to expiration. I like to see 250 plus open interest. I want to see less than 50-cent bid-ask spread. I want to calculate the extrinsic value and spend 30% at the absolute max. I want to be at 20%. 20% or less is where I want to be, but I'll go a little bit higher up to 30%, and that will be absolute max. And then I generally start at the 80 delta call. So when I look at an option chain, I immediately go to the deltas, and I look over here and I find, okay, where am I going to be? I'm not going to trade the 58 delta, even though it has more liquidity than the 84 delta. It's a little under. This spread is like 80 cents wide right here. So I'll go out in the future to January. I'll look over here. 73 delta looks pretty sharp. This is 50 cents wide. Okay, let's run our calculator right here. let's run our calculator right here, and we can see the 38 cents of extrinsic, 38 divided by the ask price, which you have to pay for it, is 21%. I like that one. I like that one. So the 17 calls on HTGC. I'm gonna make a note on here. I think that could be the easiest. 17 calls. Let's do, what was that expiration? January 16th. 1/16, 17 calls. Okay. I'm interested in that. We'll take a look at it later on today in the afternoon live stream. Let's go to Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs, GS. Deep Thought says interim order blocks. All right, thank you, my friend. They are in the Discord FAQ section. Let's go add those in. Let's go add those in. Deep Thought, is that using the Sonar Lab code that I sent over, or is that something else? Just curious. All right, so let's see. Let's go to here, December 19th. Right, we can go here, but there's less liquidity. December 19th is the monthly expiration. There's weeklies and then there's monthlies. We're looking at the monthly expiration right here on December 19th. And going to the 80 delta, like this one's good, this one's good. Plenty of open interest on both. I would go probably more for this one. It's going to cost us a little bit less, but goodness gravy. A $54, I told you these would be so expensive. A $54 option, a $6 widespread. I am not interested in that whatsoever. No way. $6 widespread, a $54 option is hella expensive. How about WBS? We got, less than 2% now, isn't it? Yeah, it's under 2% now. That's fine. I'm just going to mark it purple. All right, let's go to Morgan Stanley. Morgan Stanley. And December 19th, 80 delta. See what I mean? This is what you want. You want all the liquidity. Now, this is about $2 wide. This might tighten up by the end of the day. If we go down here, I'm surprised it's that wide with that much liquidity. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a note to look at it later on in the day. I can't guarantee anything in the market, but I would bet you that this tightens up a lot. I would bet this tightens up quite a bit. So this is the December 19th 160 calls. So 12, 19, 160 calls. Okay. We'll just check it out later on today. No stress. Now, if you don't have Outlier, listen, now's probably the time to get it. It's 82 cents a day. And then you'll get access to the invitation only live streams, which you'll actually see me put on the trades rather than just talking about them, right? Professional investor at work rather than just random YouTube guy. Okay. BKU. Let's take a look at BKU. Okay. Great example of no liquidity. There's no way I would touch this. That's why it was marked red. No way I would touch this. Let's look at Ares. ARES. Also, notice, how much time did I spend looking at their fundamentals? How much time did I spend looking at their news stories? How much time did I spend looking at anything other than price? 0. Why? Because it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter. If you want to come up with an investment thesis, by all means, if that's your plan, do it. It's not my plan. I don't care. I'm only going to get paid if price is going up. I'm only going to get paid if I follow my plan, right? So I don't have to stress. I don't have to look at it. I don't have to research it. All I have to know is, does this fit my plan? Yes or no. Execute, yes or no. This one here, I don't like it. It's got some liquidity here on the 69 delta, 267. I mean, this is $4 wide right here. Yeah, I'm not sure. Ray says, I love the fact I do not have to wear a tie or jacket at this job. I know. You could wear grumpy cat sweaters and be just fine at this job. And you don't even have to wear pants at this job, my friend. Don't even have to wear pants. Today I'm wearing Mickey Mouse, like legitimately. Here's Chris showing off his pants today. First time ever showing off my pants. I'm wearing Mickey Mouse sweatpants that we got at where's this at? We went to Disney World in October. We stayed at the Polynesian. Oh my good gravy. What a cool place that was. And we got the most expensive room at the most expensive hotel. It was so sick. We were right on the water. Oh, I loved it so much. It made me so happy. Okay. looking at, let's go to LC. LC looks pretty sharp right there. LC. All right. Not really a lot of open interest here. Let's go out. Way more open interest here. This is why I'm looking over here. Okay. Looks like, hang on. Manny's saying something back on Aries. Go back to Aries real quick. Let's check it out, Manny. He's saying the 155 on 1219. I mean, this spread here is like $4 wide. That's a huge spread. I don't think that's going to tighten up that much on this stock. It doesn't have the liquidity like the other one that we looked at earlier. So I wouldn't be interested in that one. Let's go. Was it LC? We're looking at, yeah, LC. Dress code is Winnie the Pooh casual. Let's see. Okay, so we don't like the December 19 on LC, but we could go to the January 16, way more liquidity. And this one right here looks like a good start. So this has thousands of open interest. And even though this is $1.10 wide, I would bet by the end of the day, because of the thousands of open interest, that this spread tightens up. So this is what I'm taking a look at later on. Let's calculate our extrinsic value real quick. 44 cents on $4 is roughly 10%, but I'll do the math for you. 11%. I love 11%. We're good for that at the 82 delta. So I'm gonna look at the LC 15 calls for January 2016. And just gonna take a note right here. This is the 116 calls. Which strike was that? The 15 strike, I believe. Yeah, 15 strike. Okay, let's go to F and B. All right, that looks sharp right here. Let's jump into the options chain for FNB. FNB. How do you apply to be an Outlier employee? Well, I got to tell you, getting in one of the Outlier University classes is a great start, because we've hired Deep Thought and we've hired Joe so far from the Outlier University class. So that's probably the best way to start. Get in the next class. FNB is going to be red because it doesn't have any liquidity. So this gives me HTG, Morgan Stanley, LC to look through today, and Volt. Oh, I guess I didn't get that far. Kolb. We'll look at those two, Volt and Kolb. So Volt. Oh no, there's no liquidity here. So that one gets a red for me. And then Kolb. Oh, Brad. Salty Brad. Yeah, I was planning on it, but I want to finish what I was doing. Finish my thought. There's no liquidity here either. Did somebody say Outlier University? Hang on. There it is.
Are you ready? Let's go!
Respect is earned. Respect is never given.
That's right, Outlier University. We're back in class this afternoon. This week, it's all about creating your trading plans. As you just watched, right? Professional investor at work, following his plan, looking for the things that he's looking for entries and for exits. And it doesn't have to be stressful. It doesn't have to be exciting. If it's exciting, you're doing it wrong. Okay. I mean that. It should be as simple as walking into the bank, signing on the dotted line to open an account, to buy a CD, whatever. And then you just move on with your day. It should not be exciting. Now, this afternoon, like I said, we're going to be working on our plans, and then you are going to be learning as well. You're going to be learning as well. Now, Outlier University is our gift to you. It is 100% for free, and it will be free forever. There are some people who will charge $12,000 a quarter for not even close to what we give away 100% for free. If you are an Outlier, you have the invitation only live stream to watch it live. It'll be on YouTube tomorrow, and it will last on YouTube forever for free. Why are we giving this away for free? We want you to be successful. When you become successful as a trader, we want you to become an Outlier. That is our selfish ploy to make you successful. Is that okay? I feel like it's a good deal here. I feel like it's a really good deal. Now, 50% of you are going to listen. It's going to go through one ear and out the other. You're not going to do anything about it. You're not going to change your life. You're not going to create generational wealth. 25% of you are going to listen half heartedly. You're going to implement your plan. You're not going to know what you're doing and you're going to lose money. And then you're going to come back and you're going to say, Chris made me sell my SoFi shares. And then the other 25% of you are going to come and you're going to create generational wealth that will last forever and ever and ever. And the only way that or the only thing you had to pay was free 99 because we're giving this away. We want you to be successful. So that starts this afternoon. Do I ever worry about putting too many eggs in the finance basket? No. That's the thing. We want that, right? This is the hot sector. This, I'll have to run that again. Just a second here. This is the hot sector, right? Would you have felt? Let me ask Mr. Bill Allen. Let me ask you a question in return. Would you have felt worried about putting money in the Magnificent Seven when the Magnificent Seven was running? Probably not, because it was hot, because it was hella hot. That's exactly what you're looking for. You want a hot sector, and you want to go as deep as you can afford in a hot sector. And then when the stocks aren't working, you just pick them off, right? You just pick them off one by one. It's not working. Get out of here. This is not working. Get out of here. And then the ones that are left are the best ones in the whole sector, in the whole market. Now, here's the thing. This is not something that I came up with. This actually, Nicholas Darvis wrote about exactly this principle and how I made $2 million in the stock market in the 1950s. He didn't have charts. Bro literally was trading by telegram. I've never seen a telegram in my life, but he was getting telegrams on the opposite side of the world. He created his own charts and he would find sectors. He would find industries that were doing great. He would buy literally every stock in that industry. And then the ones that didn't work, he would just take them off by telegram. The ones that did work, he would keep them on and let them run as far as they did. That's it, right? That's it. So you actually do want to have a strong position in a hot sector, And right now, financials has a heat map value of 54.92 versus the SPY's fear and greed heat map value of 54.70. So it's just slightly higher on relative greed than the market. Could that change tomorrow? Absolutely could. Let's go through and look at all the questions. Fat Daddy says, that new song? Yeah, we got a new Outlier U song. What's the story behind healthcare sector ban? It's related backtesting results. That's exactly what it is. We when we were building plans M and A, all of these applied to every sector except for healthcare. Now, for those of you who have been watching, this summer we got hit pretty hard on a healthcare stock called VKTX. There's nothing we could have done about it. They released their GLP-1 results, I think, while we were holding the trade. It was working great in a few days up to that point, and then it fell 40% or something crazy. I would never trade into earnings. That was basically an earnings announcement that we didn't see coming, that nobody knew was coming. It was just one of those like press releases that happened to come out. Because of that, I think that had a detriment, not just that stock, but that propensity for surprise news results hits the healthcare sector more than anything else. And so therefore, that's why we don't trade it anymore. Timeline and the order block issue being corrected. I believe Deep Thought's already corrected that. We're good. No more heat map exit targets. No. We did a huge hundreds and hundreds of hours work on this new plan. This new plan, you can get it in its entirety, 100% of it, 100% for free inside the Discord. Go to the FAQ and member section, member contributions, the Outlier trading plans. There's your Google Doc right there of exactly what this is. Now, when I make changes, I update this Google Doc so it's fresh. It's always hot and fresh. In fact, I think I need to make an update today. Either way, but yeah. It's no more heat map exits. Can you talk about the order block issue and what we can do about it? So Deep Thought says he's already got a workaround. I can't remember what he said. Probably in the FAQ section. Maybe it's in the trade. There it is. Trading view, order blocks outlier. There you go. Check out that one. I imagine it's going to be, there you go. We're going to add it right now. I imagine it's going to be super duper close to what we've got already. Let's see. Order blocks outlier right there. Yeah, look at that. It's like exactly laying on top of the ones. Hey, well done, Deep Thought. The issue is resolved. The issue is resolved. So I can turn this one off and it'll be exactly that. Colors will be a little bit different, but pretty cool. Didn't mean to do that. Pretty cool, right? Pretty cool. All right. Rogers. Chris, can you talk about the order block? Oh, yeah, yeah. We just discussed that. We're good. Jundicanoid, Jacandoid, Jacandroid, J Duncan Android, Jukandandroid says, what if SoFi gapped up today, bringing the 10 over the 20? Would you look at it in the last 90 minutes of trading, or does it have to close above and then look at it the following day? That's a great question. Let's go to SoFi right now. Right. First off, don't have any expectations. We don't know what's going to do. Okay. So this morning, right? This morning, the 10 is over the 20, price is over the 50. That's a great start. Now, how far will this go? I don't know. I'm not trying to tell it where it's going to go, but I do know one thing. We did not have a buy signal in the outlier just yet. The trend will have crossed over, and potentially the buy signal will come through tomorrow, and potentially I could be trading this as soon as tomorrow, right? Don't put any sort of expectations on the market. But yeah, I mean, if that's your plan, and run with your plan. H-Man and Jeff had 50 over 1020. Is that okay? I don't think so. H-Man and Jeff, let's go see. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, we're good here. I'm not stressing on it. Let's go to H-Man and Jeff. Okay, so Jeff is gonna, as of right now, head this direction. Now, that doesn't concern me. That doesn't concern me at all, because these plans are already set in stone, right? Now, granted, you could look at this and you'd be like, oh my God, I have to pay an Excel, blah, blah, blah. And that's fine. You do you. I'm not going to. If it closes under the 50, that's fine. In fact, that was one of the things that that we worked on in our plan was, if it closes under the 50, but not having the 10-20 crossover yet, should that be an exit? And the answer was no. So follow your plan. Delete deep tops indicator and put it back on, adjust your settings, and it should show up. Ooh, that sounds good. Aries, only ones with liquidity in the options chain. Yeah, we talked about a lot of that. I appreciate that. How do you make the 1 and 2 ATR quick lines and trading view so you know when to roll or exit? So inside of, we'll pull up a random stock here. We'll pull up SoFi. Imagine that we get in SoFi, okay? And we come over here and we go into the deep thought indicator. Where's the deep thought indicator? Here. And you go to the settings and you go show current plan markup. I'm trading plan M right now. Click this button. Gotta turn on the indicator here. And they will automatically pop up on there. Now, Deep Thought told me yesterday when we met that one thing was that some of these had moved quite a bit between when I put them on and the close of the day. Hang on, let's see if I can find one. Like this one here. Between where I put it on and the close of the day. So he's going to make an edit into the script so you can put in your actual closing price, and then it'll adjust those rolling points. But you can see right here, right? It's moved since I put those on, and you can see where the new lines would be if I were putting it on right now. But it's super duper simple, and I really appreciate him making it that simple. And we do need to add in the half ATR rolling point as well, because on plan M, where is it at? Where is it at? On plan M, on the green slide. Where the heck is that at? Oh, it's on the backtesting. There you go. These are the backtested results, right? The average win rate is 57%. The average trade percent return is 2.25%. Now, that also shows the average win, the average move up on the ATR for any winners is roughly 3 ATR. So rolling it at the half, 1, 2, and 3. So potentially rolling it 4 times on the average winning trade. And on the losing trade, it goes up at some point during its life cycle, on average 0.6 ATR. So that's why we're looking to get our first roll at the half ATR so we can reduce risk. Even if it's going to be a winner or a loser, we're taking risk off the table. If it's going to be a winner or a loser, we now have less at risk, we have partial profits, and we have freed up capital that we could go trade with. That's why we have our first roll at half an ATR, is to be very, very, very defensive here. Plan A is with active signals. It's just that easy. It is exactly the same on the entries. The only difference here is switching from swing signals to active signals. But plan A's expectancy is about half of what plan M is. Listen, if you're ready to save time, make money, and start with less risk, click one of these 2 videos, and we will talk soon.